Hi, I'm gonna make a short video today. I kind of wrote some stuff down, so I'll see if I remember how I was gonna say it. But first of all, let's give all the glory to God. Maybe He give me the words to express what I wanted to talk about. So, I know in my last video I kind of touched on this, but I felt like animals can carry evil spirits, and I believe that because in the Bible, it talks about a man who had many demons, and Jesus was gonna send the demons out of that man, and they asked to be put into a herd of pigs. So Jesus allowed it, and then they went off the cliff. But the thing is animals can carry demons. That's obviously in the Bible. That's a perfect example. Um, Um, I was talking to one of my coworkers about the full moon effects, and this is my own personal thought. I feel like it does affect people only because it affects the water and the tides um, on our planet, and I feel like our body is made up of a good portion of it is water, right? So I believe it affects the water on Earth. Why wouldn't it affect our body too? I don't know in which way it would affect us, but I'm sure it does something. But that's not what it's just a throw in. But anyhow, and there's another throw in. I have a couple of them. I felt like, I'm not a big AI person. I don't really love it, truthfully. Anybody who knows me knows it. Who truly knows me. But I feel like AI is only knowledgeable um, by the data that's inputted into it. So it's not all knowing. It doesn't know everything. It only knows what has been uploaded to it. And I feel like the same thing can be said about people. You're only knowledgeable in the things that you have uploaded, that you understand, or that you've been given. It's not to say that you know everything. Or you know what I mean? That's why they always say learning is power, right? Because you stay at a certain level if that's the only knowledge that you have. So in order to grow, I think you have to become more knowledgeable. Um, yeah. So same with, AI. It's only given it only has the data it's been given, right? They're constantly uploading data to it, right? So it can understand more. Your body's the same way. Okay, and then I had this story that I heard a long time ago, and I just wanted to, I know it came to my mind this morning, so I thought I'd just relay it. So I'm gonna call it the boat story, because I don't know what, I just heard it years ago. So um, there was a man, could be man, woman, whatever. There was a person that was in a flood, and they had to climb to their roof because you know, the water came up so high, and they were praying to God, like, God, please rescue me, please, God. And like a man came in a raft, and he's like, he said, no, no. He, I don't know, what do you think? God was going to put his palm down and, help him in that way? I don't know. But he was still praying to God, God, please, and they came with a helicopter, and he refused it, and he was still praying to God. And then God's like, well, I did to try to help you, I sent the raft and the person in the helicopter to save you, and you refused them both. And that's kind of like our everyday life. God is sending things to help you, and you're refusing them because you expect it to come in a different way, I suppose, or you don't believe that was God, because God works in mysterious ways, only He knows. And I guess instead of just asking for help, maybe you should ask for understanding. But maybe ask for both. I have prayed to God before, and I've asked Him um, I one time I asked Him. Well, I'm not going to tell you what I asked Him, but I asked Him for something, and I told Him that I knew I wouldn't see it when it came, like could he show me, let me know what it was, because I couldn't see it on my own. And it was so weird because I seen something and I was with another person, and then after we seen it, they told me something, and it just hit me, and I was like, God showed me something that I wanted to see, and he used that person I was with to tell me. So it was crazy. Yeah. It was a blessing. It was a blessing. Yeah. Anyhow, sometimes he works in mysterious ways. And there's another thing people don't understand. God can use anybody. He can use your enemy. He could use, you know, anybody. Like, there's a story I heard where, like, a lady, she was praying for grocery money, and this guy was trying to ridicule her and just like saying, "Oh, I'm going to give you this money because your God isn't helping you." But then she's like, "Well, thank you." And she's like, "Thank God, because he used you to give me money." You know what I mean? Even though they thought they were ridiculing her for being religious. Like, God can use anybody. Don't ever think that, you know, your blessings will only come from just one type of person. They can come from anybody, and God could use anybody, but you have to use discernment. I mean, I speak with God, so, in prayer, you have to pray all the time. You know, I don't know people that God talks that can hear God directly. God works in just mysterious ways. You just got to be open to see them and understand them. Um, but yeah, yeah. So don't think that God can't use your enemies. Believe me, he can. He can use anybody he wants. He owns everything. Good and bad. Okay. So, yeah. Praying for help. God might have already been sending you help. Who knows? Um, and then I wanted to talk about God's place. Um, in me, God is my husband. He's always going to be your first partner. He's your father, he's your husband, he's your child. And what I mean by that, if you ever read this in the Bible, that is like, and for a man, it would be like his wife, his child, because it's like, that's the purest love you have. So that's the love you should have for God. And God always says he should be your first partner, and when you're obedient and loyal enough and deserving enough, he will allow you a person in the physical, because in the spiritual, you know what I'm saying? um so God is my husband. I might not own a physical home here because I don't own one yet, but that doesn't mean I don't have a room in his house. Okay, so to whoever ever talked about my living situation. But anyhow, yeah, God is my husband, and his home is my home. So wherever, if I'm allowed one in the physical, then I will have one here. Correct. You have to be obedient enough, and to get the husband and the home that you want from God. Because yeah, some people might have it, they worked hard for it, but you got that with your own hands. Wasn't a gift from God. So I mean, it could be a gift from God, but you had to work really hard for it. Some people get things like miraculously, because and that also is what I'm saying, is that's probably the gift that's more noticeable, the one that you had to work really hard for. God still gives it to you, but he allowed you to have it by your works. um so like I said, God is my first husband, and he's also, so he takes the place of my God, my husband, and my child, because that's the purest love. So yeah, that's what that is. And he provides as the way a husband should, you know. And I don't know. You got to learn your loyalties. How do you see God in your mind? Like, how do you feel about God? Like, I know He's almighty and powerful, and I would fear Him, and I fear Him. I do. Because I wouldn't want God's hand on me. But like, what placement does He have in your life? Yeah. Anyways, don't forget your body is your temple to God. At the end of time, it's going to be, you know, that's all you're going to have to offer God. What else could you offer Him that He doesn't already own? So if you're trying to like present yourself as pure and worthy, you have to realistically decide how you're going to live your life. You can't offer a dirty soul as a gift. Come on now, nobody's gonna want that. I'm just saying. So yeah, this is all you're gonna have to offer God when your life's over. You know, Jesus was like, he was perfect, he was pure, he was clean. Like, what are you gonna offer God? What are you gonna give Him? What do you know? Yeah. Um, Yeah, what are you going to offer? I remember the story I told you about the Egyptians believing, your soul should be lighter than a feather, and I believe maybe they had some truth there. Maybe sin weighs your soul down. Like, and then if it's too heavy, it goes into the underworld. Come on, like, what are you going to offer God at the end? Because is your temple going to be, pure, clean, light? I don't know, or is it going to be full of sin, dark and heavy, and needs to go to the underworld because that's the only place that will take it. Um, yeah. Well, it's up for you to decide. We all have free choice. You have free choice. I have free choice. Every day and every decision you make is a choice. Where what path you're on is a choice. God sends people out to preach, and whether you accept Him and His word is your choice, because it's going to be like the man on that roof during the flood when God's sending people and He's saying, no, no, I don't want that. I'm waiting for God. Okay, well, God is sending you, people to preach to you, or people to, you've seen people out here trying to deliver the word, and they do it in different ways. It doesn't just have to be like somebody knocking on your door, but there's just a lot of different ways. It's up to you to be more open to notice it. Anyways, I'm rambling, so I'm going. God bless you. Say and pray for me. I'll say one.